Welcome to Retiring in Japan for the 6th day of October 2025. It's a big one. There's a situation. I won't give you details, but it's going to influence not only today's retiring in Japan, but those to come for a while. I even thought about stopping doing this in order to handle the situation, but I think I can do it. But I can't give a lot of details because it doesn't involve me, but it does involve my ability to be helpful. But for now, radio exercise. More, maybe, to come, or less. Okay, I just had a really good radio taiso radio exercise with the team. Saw the two old ladies as well. And I had a real nice talk with my neighbor about mukare, Japanese giant centipedes in the house. It's interesting how my situation is laser focused my mind. It's almost like being brought back to my work years when I have an important situation in my life, like my projects, that it kind of rallies all my senses, even when I'm not working. I feel that same rising. That's a good thing because I'm going to help with this. I know some ways to help. So, and it permeates not only my working period, but my living period. Okay, I'm home. Dog walk time and a quick check of the birds. All in a nice little row. Very nice. You guys got to see this classic Japanese breakfast. Look at that. We've got eggs and a little tuna. Look at that umeboshi on that rice. And miso soup and some tea. And plenty of extra umeboshi from the neighbor if needed. Itadakimasu. I'm just leaving the house. It's literally been at home all day dealing with a situation. I mentioned it in my Good Life meditation this morning. I have a very serious situation that's come up in my circle of people in my life. I'm working to determine just how I can best affect good ends as a participant in this. I think I've identified that. I'm in a position now to take the dog for a little walk. Think a little more about how to sit actively in my room and work on the problem now. I won't tell you the details because it doesn't involve me, but I will tell you a little bit about how it impacts me and my decision making and of course the execution of my better judgment and better living in relative to my good life creed. But for now, let's take a walk. Just distract our mind with other things for a bit. Come on, Rudy. Let's go. You ready to go? You ready to go? Let's go. Isn't this a pretty little water flow here? Look. Just the sound alone. There's a hubcap. Called Oe Nagashima, Oe Nagashima, and it's our local computer store. It's about a 15-minute walk from my house. I don't know what the OA stands for. Okay, we're just at the edge of where things get interesting. That's the road over there that comes down from my house. That's the Tomei, and then the bullet train is right here. This is the fence that keeps the bullet train out. And along here it gets interesting, and it just stays interesting all the way to the sea. Just could wander here. It would be like having a choose your own adventure every day. Every road, every side ways that you go could lead somewhere interesting. I love that background. Let's go see it just a little bit today, not too much. The first thing we can take a look at, first I was just talking to that man there. Like I said, I think I've mentioned before, this dog stroller thing draws a lot of attention when I got little Rudy in tow. But let's have a look at this. This is interesting. I'll turn to the camera that I can talk and point at the same time. And suddenly I'm really glad that I bought this camera because it allows me to talk and I can capture good audio while I have the front camera going. But this is like an overpass that I guess they designed to be a throughput to that road over there, but that's the JR trains right there. Trains come through there. This is the bullet train tracks. And just take a kind of a close look. You can kind of see the infrastructure. Big earthenworks over here holding it all up. Some very sturdy stairs that lead up to this gate. I'll be back in just a second, little Rudy. And it's got a pretty formidable locking mechanism there that heaven knows how that works. Here comes the bullet train. Isn't that fun? And then there's another one of those gates over here with a locking mechanism. You can get a closer look at it. Isn't that neat? And for a very formidable looking fence. Just me standing here for very long might draw attention. There's guys that come by in yellow JR railroad cars. Here comes a big old truck. JR trucks that inspect everything. They just kind of drive along. Come on, Rudy. They just kind of drive along and make sure there's no fishy business going on as the truck goes by. And if they spot me, there goes another bullet train. That one's headed to Kyoto. So if they spotted me, they'd probably stop and say, "What are you doing?" Filming the bullet train tracks. Well, just sharing with you kind of what interests me so much about Japan. Oh, and I bet if I look closely, I could probably find a date. Like you can sometimes find numbers. There's one right there. I believe that was 63-618. That would have been June 18th, 1963, which would be right on target. This system went into operation in 1964, the year I was born. So they probably built this in the spring of 1963, a year before operation. Makes sense. Let's carry on. We're going to continue walking down that way. Although you could walk that way. That's just as interesting too. Or back that way. That's the way I came. It's interesting. It's like I said, it's a choose your own adventure all the way. Here's a very strange and interesting house. Those are the right words. Right here along the bullet train tracks, in the heart of this industrial zone. This strange and interesting house. Is that a flamingo? Okay, this is the edge of an industrial megapolis. This huge complex over here. I don't know what they do. I think it's a cosmetics factory maybe. What I like is they've got this interesting kind of a moat-like thing that goes in. This is the corner of it, and it's all kind of in ruins right here. Rudy's gonna have a little drink of water. He's gonna save some water out for him. It's right up here against the tracks too, the bullet train. And let me just turn the camera on, you can see. Oh, and look at over here. On this corner here where the little road meets, they painted some concrete, some painting there, for caution. I love stuff like that. That warrants a photo. In accord with our choose your own adventure, I came down that way. I came to this little crossroads. I know that's an interesting way, but today I'm gonna go this way. This will lead us down to Route 1. Let's give this a try. very simply the loveliest little stream flowing through here. I'm confident that before I retired, I had the capability to see that, but I was too busy then. I just worked right up here. I never noticed it. But now that I'm free and I can walk and move at my own pace, I see things a little differently. Now we're passing the school where I used to work. Right here. Big place. Very popular and famous school, in fact. Oh, I have so many members. I see a teacher walking by up there. I probably know that teacher. This is the auditorium. I won't show too much of it. That big brown building right next to my head back there, almost certainly if I hadn't gone back to America, I'd be in that building right now, finishing off my work day. Instead, I'm here walking with my dog. And these kids, I didn't raise the camera the whole time I was going past the school. There were dozens and dozens of students, junior high school and high school age. The high school kids could have been my students back in the day when I taught the lower grades. I wonder if any of them looked at me and wondered, could that be Kato Sensei? But yeah, that would be my life. It's kind of like, passing the ghost of your former life. Possibility, right? Bullet train tracks. And they sell parking under the tracks. Here comes a local train. We'll go over the tracks here. There's a schoolgirl there, so I won't film too much. But you got the idea of the tracks. Okay, I'm well beyond all the stations and all the young people. I certainly don't want to be filming around all the young people and the school kids going home. So now I'm past that, although the train station there is full of them right now. They're just getting on their trains headed home towards Shizuoka. Here's the train signal up here. Let's take a look. No one ever gets tired of trains, right? There's the train coming the other way now. So the gates go back down. There it comes. That one's going towards Shimizu. Not this one. Alerted me to the fact that we've got a big praying mantis inside. Have a look above the door. That's a pretty big one. Okay, I'll have to help it outside.